strikers a lot, and deservedly so. But, one guy who we need to look at a little bit too is Agustin Cazares, as he is dangerous out of the midfield.
He has been ever present for Paul Buckle in his third year after playing at St. Mary's College. 4 starts in the Open Cup, 21 games in USL. He's one of the first on the team sheet for Coach Buckle.
And when it comes to RGVFC, they've been looking for a go-to guy, and Kyle Murphy, he's their leading active scorer with 4 goals this year.
They haven't really had a go-to forward. That's been one of the big problems for RGV this year under second-year head coach Junior Gonzalez, but Murphy's been the closest thing to it. 5 goals, 25 appearances. He's hardworking. He'll open up the channels for guys like Escalante, Rodriguez, and Lucatero tonight.
Well, the last time these two teams faced off, you had Cesar coming up with a hat trick, but he's not even in the starting lineup for Sacramento today. And then, of course, they also changed their goalkeeper. Jack Kubak is going to be out there for Sacramento FC, Republic FC.
Yeah, I'm sure RGV is pretty pleased that Cesar isn't starting tonight. The hat trick and the assist in the 6-2 win. It's set up as a 4-3-3 formation, and we'll see how it plays out tonight in Edinburgh.
And for RGVFC, it comes down to the guys down from the Houston Dynamo, Taylor Hunto, Memo Rodriguez, Jose Escalante, and the homegrown guy out of the academy, Christian Lucatero, who's been their big hope.
Yeah, he's finally getting another start tonight. Escalante and Rodriguez will want to make an impression. It's been a while since they've played for the Dynamo or RGV.
Well, we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll set the scene. Nope, we will hang out right here as we take a look at the coaches for these two teams. Republic FC is led by Paul Buckle with a ton of experience, now in his 10th season at the helm of this program.
Yeah, very pleased with his team this year. Last year they were number 1 in the West, led the league in clean sheets. He wants to see a clean sheet tonight, wants to build momentum heading into the playoffs. Talked about challenges of not having a consistent back line, also missing out on the affiliations, not affiliated with San Jose or Portland this year, haven't had those MLS players coming down, but still pleased with his group.
RGVFC with a first-year head coach in Junior Gonzalez, but he still has plenty of experience nonetheless.
Yeah, a lot of experience in the Division I level in Southern California. In college, came from Sounders too. He's had kind of the perfect storm go against him this year. Injuries, a lack of players being sent down from the Dynamo, but he's weathered the storm and now is trying to finish strong in his first year in the USL.
Referee for today's match, Marco Antonio Vega. He's assisted by Ina Zonga, Julio Blas, and Jesus Cancino. RGVFC and Republic FC getting ready to face off here at HEB Park. They've met twice already this season. A scoreless draw in the first meeting here at Edinburgh, then out in Sacramento. A 6-2 drubbing, Republic FC defeating RGVFC.
It was wild. It was rampant. It was fully deserved for Sacramento. Speaking with Junior Gonzalez by phone today, he said it will be a very different game tonight. The teams are different. The personnel is different. He also said they haven't been as wide open defensively. Expect a 4-1-4-1 setup for them. A lot of those goals for Sacramento came right through the heart of the RGV defense. Look for them to kind of cluster that a little bit more, make it more difficult on Sacramento to go right through the middle.
Well, Sacramento, we were talking with Coach Paul Buckle earlier today, and he was telling us that they have a lot of good strikers, and certainly when you look up and down the roster sheet and you look at the stats, that is certainly true, and you could see why they're able to drop 6 goals in a match, because they have that ability to be able to score goals in bunches. He said they have 4 legitimate strikers they can bring up at any time.
Last year's team was built on defense, very good defensively. This team's more built offensively, but they have been pretty good defensively of late. His big things tonight: concentration on set pieces. 3 of the last 5 goals against for Sacramento have come from set pieces, including a back-breaking corner kick goal against Colorado Springs last weekend. A 2-1 win turned into a 2-2 tie.
Well, you see RGVFC getting ready to take the field as they get together, and now they'll move on to their positions. Wearing the home orange uniforms, they'll be moving left to right across your screen, and they're Sacramento Republic FC. You'll see them in the white uniforms moving from left to right. RGVFC moves right to left. RGVFC trying to do something at home that they haven't done in a while. Haven't won here at the friendly confines since June 12th, and looking to give the home fans a little bit of a better result as they also try and keep those playoff hopes alive.
Yeah, John, it's been a weird year in year 2 for RGV. Last year, so good at home, so good away from home. They opened the stadium, they lost to a rival, San Antonio, in the very first game. Haven't really got on track at home. You don't know if they lost that edge playing at UTRGV at the soccer complex, smaller stadium. But never too late to get things on track here in year 2 as they try to get a big win at home.
Just 6 points out of a playoff spot now, and there's still a few weeks left in the season, so still plenty of opportunity to get in there. Republic FC right now, they are playing. They are just trying to get into that top 4. They're just, I think they're 6 points out of 4th right now. So certainly every result counts in these final weeks of the USL season, with the playoffs just about a month away. So everybody getting close to the promised land. Republic FC just trying to hold on, and certainly 3 points here would be huge for both of these teams. You know, RGVFC just a couple of weeks ago, when they were playing Portland, they termed it a must-win, ended up with a draw. So if that's a must-win, that makes every remaining match a must-win, I would think. Looks like we're ready to go. RGVFC, the Toros, ready for opening kickoff, and we are underway. That's Magaleas. The ball sends it over the right side to Hunter. Now back for Garcia. Up to technique Todd Wharton. Goes back to Billiou. Billiou working up the left sideline. They send it ahead looking for Murphy. That ball rolls back toward the goal box, and Jakubek sends it out. And all the way to Anguitia. Now into the goal box, shot from the right side, gets deflected, and into the hands of Jakubek.
Very good start from RGV. Speaking with Junior Gonzalez before the game today, he wanted them to be more direct, less methodical. They've had 2 chances. They've both been direct. And that was Escalante coming in from the left there, forcing the turnover, leading to a chance well cleared off the line by Sacramento.
RGVFC trying to clear the ball out, and they send it out along the sideline. Throw in coming up for Republic FC. Just over a minute gone by here in the opening half, as that ball gets sent out. So now RGVFC takes over. Ball in the middle field with Bird. Now coming up the right side of the Toros. Attempted pass gets broken up and sent away. RGVFC trying to get control with Billiou. Ball gets sent for Wharton in the midfield.
Here we are, Jonah, 2.5 minutes in. Very good start from RGV. Much better tempo and urgency as they win a free kick near the corner. This is just what Junior Gonzalez wanted. He saw them come to life in the second half at LA Galaxy 2 last week. This is how he wants them to play from the very first minute.
Well, Rodriguez gets taken down by Kiffy. Rodriguez remains down for the moment.
Yeah, hard challenge for the moment. I'm surprised Kiffy escaped a booking there. We'll see if Vega sorts that out. But he had a chance at goal. He was going to put in a dangerous ball. He was fouled. Should have been booked, in my opinion.
Trainer running out for RGVFC.
Memo Rodriguez has had a really good bounce-back story this year. He was initially signed by the Houston Dynamo as a homegrown player, went on loan to Charleston, came back, was waived last preseason by the Dynamo going back to 2016, came down to RGV, had a great year last year, signed another first-team contract this year, scored his first MLS goal after an Open Cup goal. So waived by the first team about 15 months ago, and now a big part of it, trying to get some minutes down here at RGV. But one of the better success stories for a Texas kid out of El Campo, just southwest of Houston.
Robert Kasner warming up for RGVFC along the sideline. Or TJ, as he prefers to be called.
Well, Memo's asking to come back on, so that's a good sign of his availability. Watch for Escalante to whip this in, an in-swinger.
Straight into the box, then knocked up in the air and out of the goal, and now it's an open goal. So that ball gets knocked out.
Another good chance for RGV there. That was Magalhaes getting forward. The Brazilian, an acrobatic chance back to goal, tried to finish it. It's kind of reckless goalkeeping here as you see Jakubek come out. If you're going to come out, you have to get to. He didn't really come close. He's contending he was fouled, but RGV player had a clear path to that ball. He has a right to it. I think a good no call from Vega. So RGV continuing to apply the pressure here in the first 5 minutes.
Jakubek boots it out. And play gets whistled dead. So RGV FC starts it back up in the backfield. Magalhaes, I should say. Well, in the middle, Bilyu. Lucatero, and he gets knocked down.
Very good from RGV. This was the plan coming in from Junior Gonzalez, the head coach. They're finding defeat at the center forward, Kyle Murphy. They're going very direct to him, laying it back to the midfielders, and they can slash centrally. We've seen RGV at times this year be a little too methodical in their build-up play. This has been very good. Chance creation already through the first 6 minutes.
Ball in the back line with Magalhaes. Now comes up to midfield with Wharton. Well, past Lucatero is Republic FC. Takes it down the other direction, and they'll look to attack with Wiesenfarth. Coming in toward the box. Shot gets deflected. Nice job by Magalhaes to be right in the right place.
Good patient build up here from Sacramento. Good shape from RGV. Covering the wide areas, also pinching in centrally, and then a foul goes against Memo Rodriguez. Now a dangerous set piece coming for Sacramento.
In good position, and they'll just send it backward to try and set something else up. That's Giffey, who steps up and boots toward the right sideline. Offside.
Yeah, that was a good step from RGV, a very tight line. We had a good view of it here. They had to get the timing right as they stepped in unison, because if he's onside, he's in alone on goal.
Angoitia getting ready to kick it out. Sporting a 160 goals against average this season. A couple of clean sheets to his record as well. The ball gets sent right back out. Throw in for RGVFC. Bird sends it in short. And stolen right away by Republic FC. Blackwood loses the handle on it as Magalhaes steps up.
A warning shot there from Blackwood. He's been very good for Sacramento all season, was influential in the 6-2 win. He can start a counterattack on his own, ran right through midfield. RGV needs to be careful of him. He'll have more of a free roll than most of the midfielders. We see him getting forward again, but they have to track him. No Siege in the lineup tonight, but Blackwood is just as dangerous.
Between Blackwood and Sammy Ochoa. And then the aforementioned Cazares, a lot of serious goal scorers in the lineup for Republic FC.
I think that was a handball against Magalhaes. The assistant referee did not see it.
Ball gets sent all the way back to Jakubek. Now Chris Christian looks to bring it up for Republic FC. Ball sent a little too far ahead. Wiesenfarth can't get there, and ball gets sent back to Angoitia.
So you see here, you can see the positioning of Wharton. If RGV wanted to be methodical, he would be deeper and offer a central option. He's staying higher up the field. They're almost bypassing Wharton. They want to get it to the feet of Murphy sooner.
Well, here comes Republic FC with an opportunity. Blackwood. Now on the left side, Wiesenfarth sends a long shot, and they couldn't connect. Blackwood was sneaking in from the backside and ends up knocking it off the side of the net.
Wonderful delivery from the left. A very difficult ball. Angoitia did not do his best there. He really needs to get to that, but he's bailed out by Bilyeu, who tracks Blackwood at the back post. Doesn't make it easy. Blackwood had a tough angle, but the last thing a goalkeeper wants to do is scramble like that, have it go over his hand.
Angoitia boots it out midfield. Cazares gets knocked down. Play continues in the midfield. Ochoa. That ball rolls a little too far. Angoitia picks it up.
After a good start, RGV is getting a little stretch in midfield. The players in front of Wharton need to do a better job communicating their responsibilities, because the midfielders, especially Blackwood, are finding those gaps right beyond the center circle in front of Wharton. Falls to the responsibility of Escalante, Lucatero, especially on this left side. These seams right through here. You're asking a lot of Wharton to come out of his defensive midfield position to deal with all these Sacramento midfielders.
Ball right back to the net, and before anybody can get there, Jakubek boots it out. Sliding bodies all over the field as Bird tries to send it up.
And that's the worst place to turn it over. Now Wharton's out of position, but good cover from Bird. Excellent recognition. Bird more advanced midfielder than Wharton. Wharton lost it. It was a good counterattack opportunity for Republic FC, but Bird put out the danger.
Magalhaes starts to send that ball ahead for RGV FC. Bird sends it back. Or gets it back, I should say. Now ball ahead. That's Rodriguez. Shot gets deflected back out toward midfield. And there comes Magalhaes. Bird gets the ball midfield. Pass to his left for Bilyeu. That ball gets deflected out. So Bilyeu wipes off the ball and gets ready to throw it back in. Sends up the sideline, where it's headed away by Republic FC. Trying to control that ball at his feet is Wharton. Rodriguez takes a spill. Now a free kick coming. Looks like Escalante will take it. He and Rodriguez, no, it will be Escalante.
And watch as Magalhaes gets forward. Bilyeu's good in the air. Murphy's a good option as well.
Popped in the air. Header try and out. To make the crab is Jakubek. Magalhaes back to play that ball for RGVFC. Just trying to keep away from Wiesenforth. The ball gets sent in toward the net, where it's booted right back out by Angoitia. Wharton gets knocked down. RGVFC will keep control.
Just a little too sloppy there from Bird. He got a long touch out in front of him, tried to give him space, but then lost it to Sacramento. Needs to be more clean in midfield there in that danger zone I talked about previously.
Blackwood sends that ball ahead, but unable to connect was Bijev. Looks like back to take the corner kick is James Kiffey for Republic FC, their first corner of the evening. Best scoring opportunity so far for Republic FC. Giffey's kick is up. It's headed and into the net, and I think it might have gotten deflected on the way in. But they're going to call offside.
Yeah, very good call from the near side assistant referee. There's a lot going on there. As we take another look. The man tracking at the back post was with the goal scorer, but he was in an offside position. So that's a very good call. Not an easy one to make, but they got the call right.
I think that was Ochoa who's trying to get behind everybody. So a sigh of relief for RGVFC as the game remains scoreless here in the 17th minute. Ball booted ahead by RGVFC, and Escalante was looking for it, but he couldn't quite get there. So let's see if Republic FC can move it up again. Now an opportunity ahead on the left side. That's Escalante trying to get control of that ball near the line.
Just wonderful there from Jeremy Hall. 1 versus 1 against Escalante. There were 3 or 4 in the box for Escalante. Hall stood him up, was patient, didn't foul him, and won the ball.
Bird sends that ball forward. Play continues with an RGVFC player down in the backfield. It's Lucatero. Meantime, Republic FC with numbers. Blackwood gets that ball right in front. Shot off the crossbar. And offside.
There's Blackwood, dangerous once again. Driving through. RGV had a few players down behind the play, but Blackwood just a bit offside. Another good decision from the assistant referee, but that is the man that needs to be tracked by RGV. They're going to find it central. He's going to run off of the forwards, find the gaps between the back line of RGV, and he's broken through a few times here in the first 20 minutes.
Ball gets headed away, but a foul called on Republic FC. So RGV FC starts it back up. Bird over to the right side to Magalhaes. Player gets taken out for RGV FC.
Vega had a good view of it. It's shoulder to shoulder. Murphy's a big boy, but he went down that time. I think it's a fair call. He went down hard, but shoulders straight. Typically a clean challenge.
Blackwood can't connect on that one. And that's a handball. From the ground, Wharton was just trying to haul it in with his right hand.
Yeah, now Ochoa is contesting. They had a break with the quick restart, but it was called back as either the ball was moving or the referee wanted them to play it off the whistle. But Ochoa is trying to play it quickly and continue to argue after the fact. So it looked like may have put Wiesenfar through, but it was called back for a restart.
Ball comes ahead, but right into the defense for RGVFC, so RGVFC will try and break back out. Here in the 21st minute, scoreless between RGVFC and Republic FC. Clementa has it on the right side. Off the front of the foot and out. Just couldn't settle that ball down.
Yeah, problematic here for RGV. Time and time again, Sacramento's breaking through, and it's coming from these areas, about 25 yards from goal. Runners untracked in midfield, and then return balls being played through. On that occasion, it was the right back overlapped in. Clementa scored twice this season, but after a good start to this game, first 10 minutes or so, Sacramento's controlled the last 10 minutes.
Magalhaes sends it back to Angoitia. And here comes RGVFC, right side Taylor Hunter. Pass into the middle for Wharton. Wharton ahead for Lucatero.
Lucatero just needs to be faster there or stronger. If he's going to hold on to the ball and welcome the pressure, he needs to keep the ball. Luckily, they got it back, but he had an option to his right that he either didn't see or ignored. And that's a play where maybe at the academy level he gets away with, but here against older professionals and guys that are stronger than him, he's not going to get away with.
You know, Lucatero, it's the second year, but he's still a guy that's young. He's 20 years old. He has plenty of time. You know, they've certainly hoped that he would develop into somebody that could end up helping out the Houston Dynamo, and there's still time for that. And that's why he's here.
Junior Gonzalez was very complimentary of him when I spoke to him by phone today. He gets his 5th start today. He's been progressing nicely. He gives RGV that final pass. He's the guy, when the other team is bunkered, set up on the top of their box, he can see the pass that other guys can't. He can play the pass. But what he doesn't give you is those defensive things. And when you're allowing goals, which RGV has done the last few weeks and months, having a guy like Lucatero on the field can be a liability if you're not scoring on the other end. So that's the challenge, getting him more playing time. But a big opportunity tonight from Junior Gonzalez. 244 minutes all season, but to start tonight.
90 of those minutes came just a week ago at LA Galaxy 2 in a 1-0 loss, the first time he played the full 90. We'll see if he's out there for a full 90 again tonight. RGVFC trying to move the ball ahead, but nice move in the backfield. Republic FC to try and break that ball out.
Jeremy Hall, good experience at center back for Sacramento.
So here comes Blackwood up the right side. Takes it himself. It's off to the left to Partain. Ball ahead, wide of the net.
This is when Sacramento has been good all night. They bring bodies to the top of the box. They play combination play, 1 and 2 touches in there, and it's led to chances. It's been something RGV has to solve here for the rest of this first half, because they kind of know what's coming from Sacramento, and they're still doing it. Haven't scored yet, but knocking on the door.
Oh, ball booted out by Angoitia. And all the way back to Jakubek. We'll hold on for a moment while his team shapes up. Sends the ball to the midfield, and Blackwood trying to come in on the right side, but a nice slide to break it up by Billiou.
Again from Sacramento, they find a target man right on the edge of the box. On that occasion, it was Wiesenfarth. He just nods it off to an on-rushing Blackwood, who was in. Good challenge from Billiou, who just got there. He concedes the corner kick. RGV needs to find a way to solve the area just beyond the penalty area.
Kiffey getting ready to take the corner kick for Republic FC. Hands in the air, and here the ball comes. Far side of the box, headed straight down, bounces over the net and out. Chris Christian trying to knock that ball in. Republic FC ball off the throw-in coming up. 27th minute, opening half. Bagels on the board between RGVFC and Republic FC. Someone trying to put a little schmear on. And that's Blackwood, who's that someone, as he brings the ball ahead, left side of the box. Blackwood, one man to beat. Sends it in, and then it's immediately headed away by Technique Todd Wharton.
Very good from Ochoa that time. It was a simple header in the middle of the field, but that's a header that RGV needs to contest better. It seems innocuous when the play happens, but it's by design for Sacramento. He's going to nod it on to the runners, and because he's pulling out a center back, the space is vacated behind him. So it's, again, one of these things that RGV needs to continue to improve on tonight. They want to track these midfield runners, but it starts with that entry ball to the forward, and it's kind of rotating. Sometimes it's Wiesenfarth who's the highest, sometimes it's Ochoa.
There's Chris Christian trying to keep control of that ball in the backfield. Sends it over to Hall. Hall back for Christian. Sends the ball up to midfield off Ochoa.
There's another ball that Wharton could win, but he doesn't. It goes out for a throw-in. Something worth watching the rest of this game. Balls to the two forwards for Sacramento, the two central forwards, and how Wharton deals with them. Magalhaes, Hunter, the three central guys for RGV, how they deal with those balls. They're not in the air a long time. They're not long flighted balls. They're driven. Have to get to them quickly.
Bird has it for RGVFC. There's a long one ahead. That's going to be run down by Clementa. Republic FC trying to work it out in the midfield. Ball ahead. They were looking for Wiesenforth. It's broken up by Hunter. And here comes RGV FC with a little speed. Chris Christian is a brick wall. And play continues with Escalante down. As the ball gets sent well over the net and out. Escalante ran into Christian, and Christian didn't give.
It was such a good run from Escalante. Left 2 or 3 behind him. Then he runs into Christian. I want to see what Christian did after the play. Looked like he sort of stood over him. Maybe kicked at him, but the referee had a very good view of it. I want to see what happens after this. Watch Christian. His left foot's there. He steps around him. Vega looks away briefly. Maybe he missed something. But that would have been very bold from Christian to try something there with Vega 5 yards away.
Republic FC trying to work it up in the corner. Looks like the ball goes out. So a deep throw in for RGV FC. Bilyu getting ready to toss it in.
He was stood up in the end, but we want to see more of that from Escalante. That's why he's here on loan from the Dynamo. He can make those darting runs from the wings. So good, but just a good defensive play from Christian in the end.
That ball heads out. Goal kick coming up for Angoitia.
RGV going into a fierce win here in the first half. So they can get to the halftime at 0-0. I think it wouldn't be a worse scoreline going into the win this half. You know how windy it can get down here in the Rio Grande Valley.
Yeah, the wind can just, it can go because there's no skyscrapers, no tall buildings. So especially in a flat area like this, I mean, you're right next to a golf course, which has some open land. There's some houses over there, but certainly that wind can go for a little while. You know, over at the UT-RGV soccer complex where RGVFC played most of last year, it's the same kind of issue where the wind will just blow really hard in one direction. And it certainly makes switching sides a strategic advantage at the half. And a hard thing for opponents to adjust to when they come here.
Good step that time from Agalaeus. It's better from RGV. It went in to Blackwood, and then he stepped in front of Wiesenforth or Ochoa and won the ball. Those are the areas where Sacramento wants to play.
Oh, Wharton does it back from Agalaeus. Now back to Wharton. Sends the ball ahead on the right side, but straight into the Republic FC defense. And now back to midfield, Agalaeus. And a yellow card.
Definitely a foul against Wharton. I don't know about the yellow. We've seen a lot let go tonight, including the foul against Memo Rodriguez in the first 5 minutes. We saw a heavy challenge from Murphy behind a play that I thought could have been a bookable offense. So for Vega to pull out the card now is a little bit curious. I liked what Wharton tried to do there. It's those runners I've been talking about through midfield. He tried to track his runner. A clear grab. I think a fair call, but after what Vega's let go tonight, doesn't seem as consistent as the players would like.
Well, here comes Republic FC up the right sideline with Clementa. Ball gets sent all the way back to Christian. Brings it up toward midfield. Now sends a long ball ahead. Clementa streaking up the right sideline toward the corner. Tries to send across, and it's broken up nicely by Bilyu.
What a fantastic ball that was from Christian. At 50 yards, he really led Clementa, but in some ways he had to, and that's another part of the Sacramento attack that's grown in this game.
Sacramento starts to bring the ball, and there's a shot. Goes wide. Wiesenfar, or rather Bijev, just missed.
Yeah, it falls to him. Nice opportunistic play there. He anticipated, came off his teammate's foot, did not miss by much. That entire sequence started with Christian, his 50-yard switch to Clemente, the right back. He's grown in this game. We didn't see him a lot in the first 15 minutes or so, but he's pushed forward. It's been on if they can hit that ball. The way RGV setting up, they're sort of conceding that space to him if they can switch that ball. And so far, Christian's shown he can hit that 50-yard switch.
Play gets stopped. RGVFC will start it back up. Magalhaes. That's Bird. Works it back for Wharton. Right side, Rodriguez. Magalhaes again on the left.
RGV just hasn't found the rhythm they had the first 10 minutes. They were very good to start, had those chances, did not score. And Sacramento's really dictated the tempo. RGV's now struggled to get it to Murphy, their center forward. And the attacks have broken down around midfield.
We talked about Murphy before the match, as maybe he could emerge as a go-to guy. 4 goals this season. He hasn't touched the ball very much.
He's done his job. You see him there staying with Hall. He's going to do the dirty work. He's going to wear out the back line. He's going to run the channels, open up the gaps for Lucatero and Escalante and Memo Rodriguez. But they found him early in this game, and he would lay it off, recycle the ball. But they have not been able to find him since.
Well, here comes Republic FC in the box. Shot gets deflected. Opportunity by Bijev, his second straight opportunity.
What a tackle that was. Ivan Magalhaes sliding to his left, blocking the shot. That was a great chance for Bijev and a better tackle for Magalhaes.
So another corner coming up for Republic FC. Tiffy's been the man taking them tonight. Take this one as well. It's the third corner kick for Republic FC. Since the far side of the box, Christian tried to leap up for it, but it was over his head and out. Goal kick coming up for Angoitia.
Yeah, they've tried that corner kick a few times tonight. RGV's had it covered well. There was that first chance that was ultimately called offside against Ochoa, but RGV has handled these corner kicks quite well. We haven't seen RGV gain one on the opposite end and really test Sacramento, as Paul Buckle told us before the game. 3 of the last 5 goals against have come from set pieces. So something that Sacramento needs to do better with, defending them.
Quick foul call, and RGVFC will start it right back up. Magalhaes toward midfield. Sends it back across for Bird. Bird is Hunter on his right, and Hunter will take it across the line. Sends a long ball up to the left. Now it's back for Bird in the middle.
Just a place you cannot lose the ball.
Ochoa bringing it up, tries to send it out. He's looking for Wiesenfarth, and Wiesenfarth steals it away. One-on-one shot, save, rebound, loose, and picked up again by Partain.
Huge save on Goitia. He bailed out Eric Bird. He's had 2 good seasons with RGV, but another costly turnover from the Toros.
There's a long shot and a save made by Angoitia, and he'll cover up.
Well, Angoitia had his shaky moments during this game, but he came up big, back-to-back there. First the save coming off his line, and then that to not give up any kind of rebound. That was a really well-hit ball. A lot of goalkeepers would give up a rebound on that, but he smothered it very well. And RGV, just their own worst enemy in possession around the center circle. We saw Bird lose it there. We've seen Lucatero lose it. Wharton, they all have been guilty of it. And this is not the team you want to lose the ball against in that part of the field. They're so good on the counterattack. They can break so quickly. If you're going to lose the ball, lose it further up the field. Lose it in the corner. Places you have more behind the ball. You lose it there. It's inviting Sacramento to play their game.
You know Republic FC looking for a breakout. They haven't won in their last 4, but before that hadn't lost in 7. It tells you they have the talent and the ability. Looks like Partain just knocked down Rodriguez. Second time he's been down today.
Yeah, he gets a yellow for that, and I like to see Vega showing the card there. We talked about the yellows he let go early in the game, and then he showed one to Wharton. Pretty fair to give one to Partain there. I'm going to expect a lot more bookings to come the rest of this game, because it's been a physical match. He's let it go to this point. I think the yellow card he showed to Wharton was sort of his line in the sand saying enough's enough. And now anything similar is going to be yellow card worthy.
Free kick, good position. Coming up for RGV FC. Straight into the box, bouncing ball, and out of the net for the aggressive stop, Jakubek.
Very good service from Emma Rodriguez. Not the most confidence claim from Jakubek, but he did the job. It came out of his hands briefly. Had to go a long way. But you want that kind of service every time from Rodriguez. The goalkeeper got there that time, but that's still a very good spot in the penalty area to serve the ball.
Of course, you know, something we didn't mention earlier, when Wharton got his yellow card, that's his 5th. So that's on accumulation. That's a 1-game suspension coming up.
Just adding to the challenges for RGV and their injuries this year, it's been a revolving door of injuries. The latest, Camilo Monroy, their Colombian attacker, out with the torn ACL.
Jakubek comes to play that one by the goal line.
And in Wharton's position, a player that was big in midfield last year, Jorginho James, the Jamaican, he's out with a left knee injury and a hamstring injury. Of course, Charlie Ward was signed by the Dynamo earlier this summer, so a player that played every single minute for the Toros last year in a position similar to Wharton's tonight, has not really been available. Could have come down earlier this season, but then got hurt after signing with the first team. Just some of the injuries Junior Gonzalez has had to deal with this year, year 2 for RGV.
RGV FC on the attack with Lucatero on the left side. Cross into the box. They wanted to go for a bicycle kick, but that didn't work out. Instead, Republic FC tries to turn it around, but the RGV FC defense is back very quickly.
Much better from the Toros. They got it wide to Memo Rodriguez. Escalante was the target. He did his best to keep it alive. A better rhythm and tempo from RGV.
42 minutes gone, first half. No score between RGV FC and Republic FC.
Just continuing our discussion of the injuries this year.
Ball comes ahead for RGV FC, but that one is forced out, and that's going to lead to a goal kick.
Emilio Garcia, a left knee sprain. He's been out. Hasn't played much really since the middle of July. He was really the true number 10 for Wilmer Cabrera and the Toros last year. You have Marco Carducci, figured to play a bigger role this year. He's out tonight with a quad strain. Victor Garza, he's out, right forearm strain. So last year, everything seemingly went right for Wilmer Cabrera and RGV. They won away from home. They got big wins at a temporary stadium. It's been very different this year in terms of how lucky they've been on the health front and getting reinforcements from the first team, the Dynamo.
Ooh. Pass went straight into the head of Bird and gets knocked out. Check that of Murphy. Actually, it hit him in the hand. Ball back from Aguileas. That ball heads out. Goal kick coming up for Angoitia. Goitia boots it out to midfield. They play along the left sideline. Bird sends that ball ahead, but tripped up in all that was Hayden Partain. So they blow the whistle there. Clementa starts this one up. That's headed away by Garcia. Out toward midfield, where Republic FC picks up in the defense with Christian. Long ball ahead on the left side.
Basically right where the field starts when you get down there.
45 minutes complete. Let's see what they'll give us for stoppage. 2 minutes of stoppage time. And as we've seen in the last few weeks in the USL, a lot of damage can occur in stoppage time.
Sacramento knows all too well. Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. 4 or 5 minutes into stoppage time last week. Late equalizer, and Paul Buckle told us that's the first time all year they've given him a goal after the 90th minute.
You know, on the one hand, you wanted to get angry about, but on the other hand, when it's the first time all year, it's sometimes you just shrug your shoulders.
Good job, team. You hadn't done it the first 23 games of the year.
And you just hope it doesn't happen again. Sacramento FC, or Sacramento Republic FC, holding on in the backfield. Now they send it up for maybe just one last break attempt. This ball heads out along the left sideline.
It didn't come off for Bijev there, but I love that first touch and the vision to spray it wide. That's what you want from your central midfielder.
RGVFC unable to hold on to the ball there. Yeah, Escalante trying to bring it up, and then he lost it.
John, that was a great illustration of the difference between the teams in this first half. That was 1 versus 3 for RGV. Sacramento's had 4 versus 3, 5 versus 3 in those same situations. The Toros need to find a way to get more bodies near the goal, and especially near the top of the box when these runners go through, so they have some support.
Looks like we're out of stoppage time, so after 45 minutes plus 2, no score between RGVFC and Republic FC. And, you know, like you just said, it was one of those halves where Sacramento had the best opportunities. They were the ones who were able to complete opportunities. RGVFC didn't really have great opportunities to score.
They did in the first 10 minutes. They had the one cleared off the line. They had a few other half chances, but when you don't get one early, sometimes you won't get anything the rest of that. That was the case. A lot to talk about for Junior Gonzalez. I think Paul Buckle will be pretty pleased with his team's performance on the road. A lot to play for in the second half. The big thing for me remains RGV accounting for runners right on the edge of their own defensive penalty area.
No score at the half between RGVFC and Sacramento FC. We'll step aside. Halftime report coming up. You're watching USL Soccer. No?
How can I help my daughter with her reading?
Searching for help with Dachshund Reading.
Why do you not get me?
I do. This is what it feels like for kids with learning and attention issues. Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
I'm a retired school psychologist, and helping people was my thing. I was very independent and thought I could take care of myself. I fell and I had to have Meals on Wheels.
After my stroke, when Meals on Wheels started, I was on the other end of the stick, so to speak.
Meals on Wheels, coming to my door as someone who's housebound, having someone check on me, assures me that I'm not forgotten.
Meals on Wheels has given me a mode of freedom that I wouldn't have otherwise.
We're the clients.
We are the clients.
We are the clients of Meals on Wheels.
America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
We do anything for kids. Yet 1 in 6 children in the U.S. struggle with hunger. Help end childhood hunger near you. Learn how at feedingamerica.org.
What's been unusual is that we gelled from the beginning, and since then it's carried on throughout the season. It carried on through preseason, and then now we're continuing. Now we're getting towards the end of the season.
Yeah, when the group got together down in preseason and we were training with the first team, we were kind of just looking around like, yeah, we got a good squad, you know. Like when we get back and it's just the Monarchs, we have a team that could do something really special. And so having that time together in preseason and pushing ourselves against RSL and against the first team guys was a great experience and opportunity, and kind of gave us some bonding heading into our season, and we knew we had a special group.
You can't just look at it as a slice, right? Because the investment is the club as a whole in building integration at every level. If you're going to think that way, you have to build the facilities, you have to invest in the team, you have to do everything that you need to do to make sure that at every level you're driving success, and I think that's what we've done.
I think there's a standard throughout the whole organisation now, from top to bottom. I think with the new facility, that's only going to increase the level, only going to increase the standard and the quality of everything within the club.
Purpose-built for USL. It'll be a fun game experience. It'll be a nice place for them to have a home field, and it'll be right at the training facility, which will be great.
This is the next step, obviously, with the academy being there. The Monarchs will be there. The first team will be training there.
But this is unlike anything else in the USL, and I think it's going to be a big game changer for us.
And so now to have our own place that's not going to be as big, but it's going to be just as full, it's going to be incredible for the team.
But for the Monarchs, it'll be great because we're getting on average 3,000 fans or so, and I think it'll be even more next year as the Monarchs continue to improve and kind of set the standard in the USL.
The players' goals have evolved as the season has, and their expectations have got greater. And I think they now understand that until we have a USL championship, they haven't aspired or they haven't reached the goal that we ultimately want.
Back we are at HEB Park alongside Matt Peterson. I'm Jonah Goldberg. Halftime between RGV FC and Republic FC. No score between these two clubs. As you know, we talked about a little bit. First 10 minutes, RGV FC had some good opportunities, and after that, Republic FC was pretty much in control.
Yeah, one of the ideas from Junior Gonzalez, the Rio Grande Valley head coach, was to really catch them on the break after Sacramento committed numbers forward. But they've been good getting back. RGV hasn't really been able to catch them after they've thrown those numbers forward. So I think for Rio Grande Valley, they need to find a way to get back to the center forward's feet or his chest. Kyle Murphy did well those first 5 or 10 minutes, but they sort of lost that outlet as the half wore along.
Well, now RGVFC, I mean, you go back into the locker room with these two teams, and RGVFC has been starting to call matches must-wins. You think in the playoff standings, they're close enough. They're in striking distance, but with just half a dozen matches left, you really need to pick up 3 points. 1 point here and there, fine, but you really need to start getting as many points as possible because all the other teams are playing too, and they're trying to pick up points also.
Yeah, it's a big one tonight. You do have 4 down from the Dynamo, and Memo Rodriguez, probably the biggest of the bunch. Jose Escalante, Kevin Garcia, Taylor Hunter. So this is a game that RGV should win. Sacramento's a very good team. They've had success in this league the last few years, but if you have 4 first-team players down, the whole week to prepare for it, build a game plan, the players need to execute. This is a game that sets up well for RGV. I'd expect a big response in the second half.
RGV FC currently sitting in 12th in the standings. They have 29 points. Colorado Springs is in 8th with 34 points, so 5 points out of a playoff spot right now. Sacramento Republic FC, on the other hand, they are in 6th with 37 points, tied with Phoenix Rising at the moment. They're trying to work their way up, and for RGV FC, as they try to work their way into a playoff spot, you take a look at some of their upcoming matches, and you see the road doesn't get any easier. They're playing nothing but teams that are in playoff positions. They've got Reno, they've got San Antonio, Swope Park, Phoenix, and then again San Antonio, and 2 of those are rivalry matches. But you're on the road for 3 of those 5, and you're playing all these teams that are in playoff position. So, if you're looking for, okay, here's a good place to pick up 3 points, there's not one on the schedule. You have to earn every single one of those points.
Yeah, tonight is really the night. If they don't get it done tonight, it's going to be hard for them to build the confidence over the final 3 games. So tonight, for so many reasons, is really their last stand if they want to make a push for the playoffs.
When it comes to Sacramento Republic FC, we mentioned the 37 points. They're trying to get into the top 4. 4th place is where Swope Park currently sits with 45 points. That would be a little bit of a tall order to get into that top 4 and make sure you have home pitch in the first round. Certainly not impossible as we start to run out of matches. After tonight's match, they get a nice 4-match homestand with LA Galaxy 2, Oklahoma City Energy FC, Real Monarchs SLC, and then Phoenix Rising FC all coming to town. So with that many home matches, there's your opportunity to try and build some points and try and give yourself an opportunity to get home pitch advantage in the first round of the playoffs.
And a lot of these Western teams in the playoff discussion playing each other this weekend. Colorado Springs, which got a point at Sacramento last weekend, they're losing to Phoenix at home around the 67th minute right now. Elsewhere, Orange County and Swope Park, they play tonight. LA Galaxy 2 and San Antonio will play tonight, as well as Seattle 2 against Reno.
Well, that's a look around the USL right now, and certainly it's been a competitive season. These are 2 teams that, both looking for a win. RGV FC doesn't have a win in their last 5. Sacramento or Republic FC doesn't have a win in their last 4. For Republic FC, they had won 6 out of 7 and gotten undefeated in 7 straight matches. RGV FC, they haven't had that kind of stretch at any point this year. It's certainly been a little different than last year. We talk about the injuries and everything else has been going on, and it's been a tougher draw in year 2. Everything that went perfect last year, whereas that they seem their luck has flipped around this year, but there's still time, and that's what they're banking on as they head into this final stretch of the season. And tonight, after playing Republic FC to a draw, that's pretty good, all things considered, the way that first half was going.
Yeah, another thing Paul Buckle mentioned to us when we spoke to him before the game, over the course of a 30-game season, you need injection of talent. You need injection of life. They've had that the last few years. Their affiliations with the San Jose Earthquakes and the Portland Timbers of MLS, they no longer have those affiliations. So it's really, they have to be more reliant on their current roster. They don't have players like Tommy Thompson coming over from the Earthquakes.
All right, well, let's take another timeout. When we come back, halftime report rolls on. Scoreless between RGV FC and Sacramento Republic FC. You're watching USL Soccer live from HEB Park.
How can I help my daughter with her reading?
Searching for help with Dachshund Reading.
Why do you not get me?
I do. This is what it feels like for kids with learning and attention issues. Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
I'm a retired school psychologist, and helping people was my thing.
I was very independent and thought I could take care of myself. I fell and I had to have Meals on Wheels.
After my stroke, when Meals on Wheels started, I was on the other end of the stick, so to speak.
Meals on Wheels, coming to my door as someone who's housebound. Having someone check on me assures me that I'm not forgotten.
Meals on Wheels has given me a mode of freedom that I wouldn't have otherwise.
We're the clients.
We are the clients.
We are the clients of Meals on Wheels.
America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
We do anything for kids. Yet 1 in 6 children in the U.S. struggle with hunger. Help end childhood hunger near you. Learn how at feedingamerica.org.
What's been unusual is that we gelled from the beginning, and since then it's carried on throughout the season. It carried on through preseason, and then now we're continuing. Now we're getting towards the end of the season.
Yeah, when the group got together down in preseason and we were training with the first team, we were kind of just looking around like, yeah, we got a good squad, you know. Like when we get back and it's just the Monarchs, we have a team that could do something really special. And so having that time together in preseason and pushing ourselves against RSL and against the first team guys was a great experience and opportunity, and kind of gave us some bonding heading into our season, and we knew we had a special group.
You can't just look at it as a slice, right? Because the investment is the club as a whole in building integration at every level. If you're going to think that way, you have to build the facilities, you have to invest in the team, you have to do everything that you need to do to make sure that at every level you're driving success, and I think that's what we've done.
I think there's a standard throughout the whole organisation now, from top to bottom. I think with the new facility, that's only going to increase the level, only going to increase the standard and the quality of everything within the club.
Purpose-built for USL. It'll be a fun game experience. It'll be a nice place for them to have a home field, and it'll be right at the training facility, which will be great.
This is the next step, obviously, with the academy being there. The Monarchs will be there. The first team will be training there.
But this is unlike anything else in the USL, and I think it's going to be a big game changer for us.
And so now to have our own place that's not going to be as big, but it's going to be just as full, it's going to be incredible for the team.
But for the Monarchs, it'll be great because we're getting on average 3,000 fans or so, and I think it'll be even more next year as the Monarchs continue to improve and kind of set the standard in the USL.
The players' goals have evolved as the season has, and their expectations have got greater. And I think they now understand that until we have a USL championship, they haven't aspired or they haven't reached the goal that we ultimately want.
Welcome back out to HEB Park. Alongside Matt Peterson, I'm Jonah Goldberg. Score at the start of the second half, RGV FC and Republic FC are scoreless in a match with all sorts of playoff implications. But before we worry about what's on the field, I do want to point out RGVFC recently held a supplies drive, a Hurricane Harvey relief drive to try and benefit those in need from Corpus Christi, Rockport, everywhere up to Houston, Beaumont, and beyond. You know, it's dangerous to start listing out cities because so many were affected, so many more that, you know, unmentioned, and they were able to collect a truckload of supplies from their fans and bring it up. And, you know, Matt, I know you know firsthand just exactly what Harvey did up there, especially like in the Houston area, and how needed those supplies were.
Yeah, it's great to see the community pitching in. Great to see people stepping up throughout Texas. Cajun Army coming in from Louisiana, the Dallas police forces, and firefighters from various suburbs. I know the Valley has helped out as well. Everyone's pitched in, and of course, nice donation drive here from the Toros to help out with people that need supplies during this very difficult time.
Well, many thanks to the Toros for running that drive, and of course, so many different sports teams stepping up as well. You've seen all over social media gear getting sent in, and you know, I'm sure it'll be funny walking around Houston. You'll see gear from every college and pro team in the country, it seems, all of a sudden. from these very gracious donations. And many thanks to all of them, everybody getting involved, including RGVFC here from the United Soccer League. Well, they switched sides of the pitch. RGVFC in the orange uniforms, they'll be moving left to right. Sacramento Republic FC, they are in the white uniforms. They'll be moving from right to left. We're ready to go. 45 minutes left in this match, not including any potential stoppage time. No score between RGVFC and Republic FC. Somebody looking to break through. Not quite the kind of result we saw last time they met up in Sacramento. A 6-2 Sacramento victory. Of course, when they met here in Edinburgh in June, it was scoreless. They played to a draw. RGVFC hoping, okay, they've got the loss, they've got the draw, they're hoping to get the win out there. It's like you said, trying to make that final stand and propel themselves back into the playoff picture.
It's been a tough year for RGV. Some of their best players signed by the Dynamo, so it was a very strong, consistent team a year ago. Players like Kevin Garcia, Taylor Hunter, Memo Rodriguez all gained first-team contracts. Charlie Ward, in the middle of the season, got a first-team contract. They have not been as available this year as they were last year.
Ball ahead and over to prevent anybody from getting a touch on that ball was Magalhaes.
And I think the returnees that haven't been able to sign a first-team contract, they've been less consistent than maybe they were a year ago. So players in their second season under a new head coach have struggled with maybe the consistency they had a year ago. So it's to be expected. The sophomore slump, you know, teams know what they're going to try to do.
James
unlike
Giffey
last year.
Takes the corner, and that ball booted out by the RGVFC defense. And now it looks like RGVFC is going to have an opportunity. Coming up the right side, Escalante. Escalante toward the goal line, sends the cross. No connection there, ball still loose. Crawling to grab it is Jakubak.
Very good there from RGV. No goal, but exactly what Junior Gonzalez wants. It was Escalante using his speed. Former captain of the Honduran U17 national team. Pretty good play from Hall. Experience in MLS, slid over, sort of forced Escalante towards that sideline, used the end line to his advantage. Now he's tying the shoe of his goalkeeper, which is a nice way to get a little respect from a teammate. But right after the halftime whistle, we talked about the chance for RGV to counterattack more, and it's something that with Sacramento pushing numbers forward, they could try to do. They didn't do it much in the first half, much better in the first minute or two of the second half. They had a break.
So Jakubak ready to go with the tied shoe and all. Sends that ball the other side of the field.
Don't see that very often.
I tie my own laces. Although I personally prefer Velcro. Then nobody has to see how I tie. Ball ahead for Republic FC. Blackwood. Right side. Loses his angle, so he'll pass it back out. Now there's a centering pass and cleared out by RGV. Kept in Ochoa left side. And that one straight into the hands of Angoitia.
Corner kick now. It was a poor clearance from Ivan Magalhaes that led to that second chance, and Angoitia now showing his frustration. But I wonder if Junior Gonzalez might change things tactically. It's been a tough night for Wharton. He's been all alone in that defensive midfield position. I think he could use some help. I think he could use the second guy next to him to help deal with the Sacramento midfield.
So Kiffey with the corner. And that ball gets redirected, and RGVFC is going to take over.
So we see the shape here for RGV. Wharton is the clear defined number 6 defensive midfielder. Has Lucatero and Bird in front of him. May see one of them drop deeper, more likely Bird than Lucatero. But Wharton's had to cover a lot of ground. There's been a lot of situations where he has to look to his right and left and wonder which Sacramento player do I pick up.
Republic FC with so many different options. You don't know who's going to go on the break. As Jakubak boots it out. RGV allows it to go out. That way they'll get a throw-in. All the way back to Jakubak, and Garcia in to contest. Force him to kick it right back out. Bird sends it behind him. Trying to get it back. That ball bouncing. Garcia giving chase against Christian. Sends it out with the left foot.
Kiffy did so well to keep that in there. Had to deal with Kevin Garcia. Did that and kept it in. And now Sacramento can go the other way.
Long pass, and it's headed by Blackwood in the other direction. Now Ochoa toward the goal line. Working his way toward the sideline. Now he kicks it toward the box. But Bird is there to knock it away. Ball sent all the way back to the defense. Christian giving chase toward the sideline. It goes out. He'll just throw it right back in. Jakubak. Christian. Back to Jakubak.
And this is what Sacramento wants to do. Methodically build up and watch the midfielders around Wharton drifting behind Bird and Lucatera. This is where they found their spaces. Right in these gaps here.
Christian again.
And it's just endless running for Todd Wharton. It's not a fun night at the office for him, the amount of ground he's had to cover.
Kiffy dumps it off, and up comes Bijev. Looking back for Kiffy, but RGVFC takes it over with Lucatero, who...
And again, there, I question his decision. He draws a foul. He did a good job, but he had Escalante wide open there. The pass was on. RGV needs to go with pace. They need to counterattack more decisively. The break was on for Lucatero.
RGVFC with an opportunity inside the box with Rodriguez, and ball gets knocked away, but RGVFC will get started right back up. Throw in with Kevin Garcia, right sideline. Garcia for Rodriguez, gets booted back toward Garcia, and taken away by Ochoa. Here comes Republic FC. That's Wiesenfarth. From the corner, tries a cross, broken up by RGVFC, now back to the middle. And racing up the left is Escalante.
Much better there. They got it out to Escalante quickly. Now he can run the show. And something's on now for RGV.
In the box, Bird was trying to get it down. Christian may have made contact. I think they're going to say it was off Bird. So a goal kick for Jakubak. Republic FC starts it back up in the middle with Kiffy. Christian. Back to the goal. Cazares. Now Blackwood up on the right side. There's a cross. It gets broken up. We're looking for Wiesenfarth. Ball heads out and a deep throw in coming up. Now here comes RGVFC up the right side. Escalante with a shot goes wide, almost takes out a cameraman. Oh, Rodriguez rather. Escalante plays on the left.
Most of the time. Again, that's when RGV is going to have success. On the break, win the ball, get it out to Rodriguez and Escalante.
Looks like we have a substitution coming up.
Yeah, this is a nice change of things for RGV. Lucatero comes off. Kastner has been one of RGV's best players this season, especially late. The attack has really gone through him. So a nice piece off the bench for Junior Gonzalez to go to. And the Dynamo homegrown player, Lucatero, goes about 55 minutes in his start. He had an okay game. He had moments where I was critical and said he maybe could have played it quicker, but that's his game. He likes to hang on to the ball. He likes to kind of pull the strings and dictate the tempo, but more good time to learn something in midfield and have more experience to draw upon after a good shift.
Now we'll see if TJ Kastner can add a spark. And a spark perhaps coming from the left side, but Republic FC immediately breaks it out, preventing Kevin Garcia from getting an opportunity to even take a shot. Kyle Murphy.
That's good work from Bird. We haven't seen the RGV players run at this back line too often. Escalante a few times in the first half. That was good from Bird. Let's see how Sacramento does backpedaling, having to really have the offense taken to them. That was Hayden Partain on that occasion, but a lot more urgency, incisiveness from RGV in the second half.
Well, now a good opportunity, a free kick. But first a substitution. Caesar's coming in.
Well, he wants to replicate what he did against RGV back in June. A hat trick and an assist. Just a spectacular performance from Caesar, the Trinidad and Tobago international.
So Trevin Caesar was player of the week after that performance. He replaces Matt Wiesenfarth. And into the box, it gets headed away by Christian. So another corner coming for RGVFC.
Another good delivery from Memo Rodriguez. We saw it in the first half. He forced Jakubek off his line. That one wasn't close enough for the goalkeeper to come. So now the first corner of the night for RGV.
Go with the short corner. Now the kick toward the box, punched away. And now here comes Republic FC, and a nice job by Bird to stop that and give it back to RGVFC left side. One-on-one. There's the pass toward the box. Michaelas takes it back along the goal line. Kicks it out for Bird. Header attempt, no. Rebound shot goes well high and out. And off the property.
Just came up for Taylor Hunter, a center back. Much better from RGV. They've started the second half like they started the first half of this game. Jakubek very aggressive in his goalkeeping, came off his line a few occasions. This is better from RGV.
Jakubek getting ready to boot that ball out. No score. We're 60 minutes gone by, 2/3 of the way through this match between RGV FC and Republic FC. Not for lack of opportunities. Well, nobody's been able to convert quite yet.
Easy decision. Escalante with a push in the back of Jeremy Hall. Vega right there to see it. Caesar immediately around the left shoulder of Taylor Hunter. It's going to be a tough task corralling him over the final half hour. Junior Gonzalez wanted to see some physicality from his team against him if he was starting. They want to press the space around him. So it was so free for him in June when he had the hat trick plus an assist.
You know, Paul Buckle talked about Caesar and said, you know, when he was talking about how he has all these great strikers, said, you know, all the strikers have bought into the fact that it's not if you start, it's, you know, or if you finish, it's how you're going to help the team win. And you know, certainly bring Caesar off the bench. You've got tired legs out there, and you bring in a fresh Caesar, knowing what he's capable of. That could be hard to handle, particularly in a scoreless match.
Well, he's one of the fastest players in this league. Good news for RGV is it's not that warm this weekend. I'd say cool for this part of the country this time of year, so maybe not as tired as they might be typically around the hour mark.
That's true. There are nights you could have a game time temperature of 100 degrees plus. Today, not bad. It rained yesterday, and I think that helped to break the heat a little bit.
Mid to low 80s in the valley this afternoon.
I saw that there's a potential for the low to hit 69 tonight. I don't know if that's really possible, but that would be something. Average annual temperature in the Rio Grande Valley is 78 degrees with 300 days of sunshine.
Well, a free kick drawn here. Again, the spacing's been better. They found entry into Kyle Murphy. The wingers are active, including Kastner off the bench. And now they're playing it short, continuing that urgent play.
Ball booted away by RGVFC.
Yeah, it's just a poor decision from Escalante there. It comes down. It's a low percentage pass. He tries to play it first time for Kastner. Why try the spectacular? Settle it and play it. It's a lost ball in a very good spot of the field. It's little things like that that have hurt RGV this year. Who knows what it could have led to, but it's just a little bit sloppy.
I imagine that's something they may have spoken about at halftime, but
love the effort from Bird, though. He goes over the top, and then he wins the second ball. This is what RGV needs. They hadn't had that in the first half against Sacramento in midfield. Bird wearing the captain's armband now and leading by example physically, contesting everything.
Republic FC trying to set something up, coming up on the right side. Ochoa. The ball in front, shot! And a goal. Or is he offside? He was offside. That is the second time today Republic FC has had a goal waved off by offside.
Spectacular little scoop pass from Bijev as we look at the replay. Good call. It was very close, but as he came through, he was offside. We haven't called Bijev's name very often, but when we have, he's shown his class.
You know, Bijev, 7 goals this season from the midfield. You have guys like him, Ochoa with 5, Blackwood with 6. Now Cesar out on the pitch. So many dangerous options. Junior Gonzalez directing his team, and
of course Bijev just a new acquisition for Paul Buckle in Sacramento. All 7 of those goals came with Timbers too. So an opportunity for him to go to a team that's going to be in the playoffs most likely late in the season. A difference maker acquired by Buckle. 7-goal scorer for a Western Conference rival in T2.
It's really been a rough season for Portland. Opportunity, Memo Rodriguez was coming in, but ball gets booted away. Meantime, a whistle, and looks like it's Republic FC ball. Jokovic steps up pretty far for his kick. See how far down the field he can get it and try and get Republic FC an immediate chance as Ochoa heads that up in the air. Caesar couldn't handle it. The ball gets sent all the way back to Christian. Ball along the sideline. Coming up is Kiffy. Sent back and out.
Good angle from Kevin Garcia. Kiffy has played every minute this season. He's a known quantity in this league. I think Garcia expected him to cut inside, and he did, and then he just ran out of room. Nice play from the experienced Kevin Garcia. Another player that Junior Gonzalez has not been able to count on this year that Wilmer Cabrera could last season. Garcia, the captains at times last year, but he's been with the Dynamo all of this year.
Here comes our RGVFC up the right sideline. There's a cross punched out of the way. Ball still live. Stepping up from the midfield comes RGV. Ball heads over to the left as Wharton couldn't get there. I think Bilyeu throws it in. Now Kastner. Kastner for Wharton. Wharton finds Bird. Turnaround shot goes wide.
Good hit from Bird. I love the bravery from Jakubek. He's 6'1". He's undersized for a professional goalkeeper, but I think small goalkeepers learn early on if they're going to compete and be a pro, they have to make up for their lack of height with bravery, agility, just that ability to come off their line and get to balls that other goalkeepers can get to. And he's shown that tonight, coming off his line in situations that I've been a little bit surprised he's gone into, but he's come away with almost everything. Got to it there. Played Division II at Chico State, which isn't too far away from Sacramento. School that produced Chris Wondolowski, one of the all-time goal scorers in MLS, but I like an undersized goalkeeper that's not afraid to come out. Decision-making still has to be good, but willingness to maybe take a few shots just to protect his box.
A lot of value in having a keeper who's willing to come out and play aggressive, as long as he can do it right, like you said. Ball into the box. RGVFC trying to clear out, and they do with Magalhaes. Now an opportunity developing up the left side. Escalante sends that ball over the right. Rodriguez. Rodriguez with a cross. And now a shot and a goal! Kyle Murphy puts it home. And RGVFC strikes first. It's 1-0.
A deserved goal for RGV. They've been applying the pressure the entire half. Murphy, he does the dirty work, and now he's rewarded for it. It starts with Memo Rodriguez. Beautiful little ball towards the top of the box. It's kept alive, and then a calm finish as Kastner, the substitute, does the difference, and just a good reaction. Murphy got there before Christian did, and his reaction says it all.
So in the 70th minute, Kyle Murphy breaks through with his 5th goal of the season. He's got 11 points. And RGVFC has a 1-0 lead. So 5 goals on the season for Murphy. 6 goals on the season for Murphy. Correction. He had 5 entering today.
And now we'll see how RGV sets up. It's going to be very interesting. I would think they've been largely outplayed tonight, but they got the goal, and that's all that matters. So how do they see out this final 20 minutes? Done a much better job in the second half. I think Bird's been the difference in midfield defensively, leading with the physicality and the energy, helping out Todd Wharton. The back four has been better. Can they see out this final 20 minutes? You get a 1-0 win or add to it. See if they can stretch the lead, as you know Sacramento is going to push more numbers forward now.
Of course, the last thing you want to do is hold back and just play defense, because when you play not to lose, good things don't usually happen. But if RGFC can continue to be aggressive as offside is called, they've got a chance at these final 20 minutes.
Well, we speak about the lack of continuity in this RGV team, but the front 5 right now, and you can add Wharton to it and make it 6. It's very similar to last season. It's a group that had a lot of success the year ago as they finished 2nd in the Western Conference regular season. Kastner and Memo Rodriguez, Escalante, a big part of that as well, Murphy. So a group that's played together, and then in the back as well with Kevin Garcia and Hunter and Ivan Magalhaes. Bill Hughes, the only newcomer in that group.
Kiffey coming in from the left side, sends a cross. Now a shot and a goal. Republic FC immediately responds. Bijev ties the game up at 1.
That was so well worked by Sacramento. It's a gut punch for RGV and a deserved equalizing goal as it was switched to the back post, laid back, and then Bijev, we've complimented his class all night and what he's done with the ball at his feet. A goal scorer's goal, his first for Sacramento after scoring 7 for T2.
So we're all knotted up at 1 between RGVFC and Republic FC. And so right there, we'll see what happens after RGV scores and Republic FC just comes marching down the field. It took 2 minutes.
Yeah, Jonah, it's tough to swallow. It's not surprising, though. It's been unaccounted for runners that have hurt RGV tonight. They've been let off the hook, but that time Bijev did not waste his chance. It's a midfielder arriving late at the top of the box and a great layoff.
RGVFC was trying to push the ball in. Jakubek sends it right back out. That's Garcia.
Yeah, I wish he played it to Memo Rodriguez earlier. He was on. He was in. I don't know what Garcia's hesitancy was there. Maybe didn't want to turn the ball over, but it was a willing run from a winger, and the ball is not played.
Ball in the middle of the field. Cazares sends it over to the left. Rodriguez trying to get control of that one. He was hanging all over Kiffey.
A good physicality from both guys. 2 good pros have been played a lot of minutes in this league.
So 16 minutes left in regulation plus any stoppage time. Tied at 1 between RGVFC and Republic FC. Ball toward the corner, Republic FC trying to get another opportunity. Broken up by Magalhaes. And now send up the field. Biliu. Republic FC trying to get it back. Toward the side of the box. Partain, and now comes over to the right. Or Christian. Rather, Cazares. And now into the box. Republic FC trying another opportunity with Blackwood. That one gets broken up by Magalhaes. And
Jonah, Ivan Magalhaes came to play on. That's a huge tackle after some wonderful dribbling as he broke through. It was an important tackle. We've seen him rise to the occasion a few times tonight. A great move on that far side. Great response from Sacramento. They were down a goal on the road, winless in 4, and they responded, and now they look the more likely team to score a second goal.
Clementa with the ball at his feet gives it to Caesar. Now the ball gets sent back for Partain. Christian has control of midfield, boots with the left leg. And it's sent out off of RGV. I think off of Murphy. We got a substitution coming for RGVFC as Pungo is coming in. Francisco Pungo in for Kyle Murphy.
Yeah, there's been a bit of a Colombian pipeline the last couple of years with Wilmer Cabrera, Colombian national team veteran, coaching RGV, now coaching the Dynamo. Pungo from Cali, Colombia. Took him a while to get his eligibility, his visa sorted, but a big opportunity for him, one of the final home games of the year, to provide a big moment at HEB Park.
So the goal scorer Murphy comes off. Pungo comes in. Trying to get that game-winning goal for RGVFC. Who's now used 2 of their 3 substitutions. RGVFC trying to push it up. They're looking for Pungo off the bat. But the ball goes beyond him and straight to Jakubak. Magalhaes heads that ball down, and they're going to whistle him for a foul. So here comes Jeremy Hall up the right side. Sends that ball in toward the box. Magalhaes heads it away. Partain gapes it in. And now Partain with the right foot boots it over the net and out.
That's an example of where it's too easy for Sacramento. They had 2 players run into each other. The ball spills away, and there's still no one there from RGV to win that second ball. It's too easy. Maybe they're tired. Maybe they're disorganized. But if you run into your teammate and the ball falls away, the other team should win the ball. 9 times out of 10.
Been an issue today for RGVFC as we're in the 79th minute, match tied at 1. And normally you'd say when you have a match like this, you'd be happy to come away with a point. But for RGVFC, a point is nice, but at this juncture in the season, you really need 3.
Yes, I'm going to expect to see them really lay it out here in the final 12 minutes plus stoppage time. Their playoff hopes really hang in the balance.
Anything can happen in the final minutes. RGVFC saw that against Portland 2 weeks ago. Cross in the box. There's an opportunity, and it goes wide.
Very good from RGV. Memo Rodriguez has had his moments for the Dynamo this year. You see why. Faking the right-footed cross, serving with the left, Excellent effort at the back post from Jose Escalante. Stretched out, did all he could to get there. Put it back across the face of goal. Nobody there on the second ball, but the effort there from the Toros.
So throw-in coming for Sacramento, and just to finish the thought on that match against Portland, it was scoreless into stoppage time, and then 3 minutes into stoppage time, Portland scores. 4 minutes into stoppage time, RGV scores. You end up with a 1-1 draw.
Some late dramatics at home for RGV this year, but it's been stealing a point, not 3 most of the time. They put themselves in difficult situations, but tonight, it's right there for them. 1-1 in the 81st.
Looking for their first home win since June 12th. All over the sideline, Rodriguez tries to pass into the middle, now moving up with it on the right side. Rodriguez sends the cross, and it's headed away by the Sacramento defense. Now it comes back out for Kasner. Opportunity toward the box, but knocked away by Republic by Jeremy Hall.
I like the foul from Pungo. It's a smart foul. It's a cynical foul if you're a Sacramento Republic supporter, but it's a forward aware of what's on, aware of what Sacramento can do. He knows how good Sacramento is in the break. They now have Caesar on the field, and he just stopped the play. For a neutral, maybe not the best play, but I'm sure the RGV coaching staff appreciative of the young forward Pungo making that play.
Billion Bijev coming out, the goal scorer for Republic FC. Peter McGlynn coming in. So second substitution used for Republic FC now. Each team with 1 to go here in the 82nd minute. Blackwood on the left. Sends it toward the net, where it's scooped up by Angoitia. RGVFC working the ball up. But right there is Kiffey.
It was such a good switch of play. Everything worked until the final pass, just a little bit off from Bird, who had the right idea. There was a run from Pungo, a good run that came off the right shoulder of the center back. They elected not to play to him, switched the fields. Just a little bit off for RGV.
Caesar gets tripped up, so foul, and Republic FC gets to start it up. Now on the right side, the ball comes back to Hall. Hall, it was left for Christian. Coming up ahead is Caesar. Caesar has the play broken up.
Good work there from Hunter. Closed his legs. No option there for Caesar. Calm defending from the veteran.
Cazares sends it back for Christian. Over for Hall on the right. Hall back for Cazares. Kiffey back for Christian. That's McGlynn with the ball now at his feet. Pass up ahead for Ochoa. Ochoa looking left, and stepping up is Cazares.
Good angle from Bill Yu. Is a quality buildup from Sacramento. They went in and out. We're pulling RGV apart. Good soccer on display.
Bouncing ball comes back to the net, and Jokovac waits before he picks it up. Fans starting a Let's Go Toros chant, banging on a drum, trying to will their team to a late victory. Here in the 85th minute, tied at 1 between RGVFC and Sacramento Republic FC.
Good physicality from both teams now. We've seen a lot of challenges like that at the sideline. Both teams giving their alls. A basic requirement, but nice to see nonetheless.
Jakubak sends that ball out to midfield. And out it goes along the sideline.
They ran over just to ask you. Alright, stand by camera 1.
Kiffy getting ready to throw it in. Ball back to Kiffy.
Stand by camera 3.
Now Christian sends it forward. Rodriguez gets the ball at his feet, sends it ahead. But a little too far ahead. No chance for Pungo to catch up to that. So Jakubak will lure him in and then send it out for Christian.
Wonderful vision from Ochoa to spot that on the right side.
Opportunity for Republic FC. Shot gets deflected. Rebound Caesar and a save made. Ball heads out beyond the goal line off the block of Angoitia.
Yeah, big save from Angoitia. He's grown into this game. Had some nervous moments early on, but 2 or 3 big saves for the Spaniard. I love what Sacramento's done of late, finding space. That time it was Kiffy overlapping on the far side. And a wonderful switch from Sammy Ochoa. He came back to midfield to find it, and then had the outlet pass.
Kiffy waiting to take the corner. Hands up, ball toward the box. Coming to the high far. RGVFC trying to clear it out. And after the play, I think that's McGlynn.
That's Partain.
That's Partain.
Yeah, I'm surprised Kastner got away with that, to be honest. It looked like he left it in there. Partain is definitely in some pain. Referee had a good view of it. Fourth official had a view. The near side assistant referee, Paul Buckle, did, so Sacramento's upset. May have been a foul on Kastner. It looked like it was at our first glance at it.
Well, they'll resume play here in the 88th minute. RGVFC with the ball. Angoitia sends it pretty far down the field. Kastner. It's taken out. They'll call a foul there.
Smart play by Kastner. He expected the contact, just slowed his body down, took the contact, and now an important free kick coming. Escalante will hit this.
RGVFC stacking the top of the box. Escalante sends it in, redirected, and right into the waiting arms of Jakubak.
Yeah, it was Kevin Garcia making the run. Got ahead to it. No one behind him.
Ball all the way down the field toward the corner. Agaleas with the ball at his feet here in the 89th minute. Still tied at 1. Goals scored minutes apart around the 70th minute.
Again, Pungo made the run. He was open. Wharton elected to not play him. That's twice now Pungo's made a good run, and they haven't found him.
Long shot coming on and out of the net to make the catch. Angoitia.
He's had a good night tonight. He came up big when he had to. Nothing he could do about the goal from Bijev. Both goalkeepers have been solid on this evening. I do think it's something that RGV has to be better at adapting to. Pungo is a very different forward than the starter, Kyle Murphy. Murphy likes his back to goal. He'll do the dirty work. He'll hold up the ball. Pungo has speed. He'll run the channels. He'll run in behind the center backs. So I don't think these RGV players are used to looking for that run, and when it happens, they don't see it. 2 or 3 times tonight, Pungo's been in, and the ball has not been played by the RGV midfield.
Memo Rodriguez getting ready for the free kick. We're in stoppage time now, as that one is punched away. And Caesar will try and bring it up, but it's kept right back in. RGVFC, 4 minutes of stoppage time. As RGVFC has it in the box with Kastner, but Hull is there to knock it away and out. So throw-in coming up.
Yeah, really costly turnover there from Caesar. Lost it in a very, very bad spot. RGV had all their numbers forward and nearly found a winning goal after he lost the ball.
Republic FC trying to clear it out. RGV FC trying to keep it in with Bird. Now Kastner. Ball knocked away by McGlynn. Now the RGVFC defense stepping up. Streaking up the left side. There's a pass and a stop made by Jakubak. Ball was coming toward the side of the net. He didn't want any opportunity for the streaking Pungo to be able to bury it.
I don't mind the service there from Bilyeu. I think it's 2 players maybe not on the same page. Bilyeu hasn't been here very long from New York Red Bulls 2, was his previous team. That's the time you want Pungo to make that near post run. Bilyeu put it there. Pungo did not make the run in time, and it ends up as a harmless cross. But it's not a poor ball by any means from Bilyeu. Now watch Pungo. Will he run the channels? It's demoralizing as a forward when you make the runs and they don't play you the ball. You have to fight through it and continue to make it, especially as a substitute.
Ball comes over the left side. Bilyeu. So RGVFC continues to be in control. That was Escalante who gets knocked down.
Really good from Escalante. You see his skill, 1 versus 2, just slid between the two. And now an important free kick coming for RGV.
Not much time left in stoppage time. But RGVFC has been known to score in the 4th minute of a 4-minute stoppage time. Trying to watch history repeat itself. Straight into the box. There's a shot and a save made by Jakubak.
Magaleus first to react. That would have been heartbreaking for Sacramento. Twice in as many weeks to give up a late goal in second half stoppage time. It was close. It was there for RGV.
That's a great point. Republic FC's only allowed 1 stoppage goal all year. But it's pretty recent.
And now a free kick for Sacramento. Too much contact from Magaleus as he came right through Caesar.
We got a substitution coming in for Sacramento as Caesar's coming out. Carlos Rodriguez is coming in.
Like for like. Actually, not like for like. Caesar's coming off. And maybe Buckle sending a message after that turnover, or maybe he just wants a big player on a set piece. You see the pep talk from Buckle. He wants Big Rodriguez coming on for this set piece opportunity, almost like a basketball type substitution. An offensive player for a defensive specialist in the final minute.
Paul Buckle realizing this could be the last opportunity to score. And that ball is deflected out of the box, but Sacramento keeps it in. Over to the left toward the corner. It's broken up by Bird.
Great work rate from Bird. He's really led by example the entire second half, running down a player in the corner in stoppage time.
Christian gets knocked down. Play continues on the left with Kiffey. Bird's got it for RGVFC.
They're going to say corner kick. They're going to say Garcia took it over the end line. So now a chance for Sacramento late.
Well, this could be the final opportunity then for Republic FC. Giffey's taking every corner today for Sacramento Republic FC. They'll get one more. Into the box, headed on, and a goal.
The substitute, Rodriguez, exactly what Buckle put him in for, set piece opportunities, and it's a total gut punch to RGVFC.
With just seconds remaining in stoppage time, Carlos Rodriguez comes off the bench.
It's an unconventional substitution, but now Paul Buckle looks very smart, bringing on a big center back for a hot goal scorer, and it worked out just perfectly for Sacramento and a road win for the visitors.
First goal for Rodriguez, and what a time to get it. As Sacramento Republic FC, well, fought until the last minute, and they got rewarded in the last minute.
Now Carlos Rodriguez from Torreon in Mexico. Here we are not far from Reynosa and the Mexican border. Not something you see very often in soccer. A center back coming on for a forward and scoring the game-winning goal on a set piece away from home.
Well, we recap the scoring for you. Kyle Murphy scored in the 70th minute. RGVFC had a 1-0 lead in this match, but 2 minutes later, it was Viljan Bijev scoring his first goal with Republic FC, his 8th of the season, after Murphy had scored his 6th, and that tied the matchup at 1. And then here, in the final seconds of stoppage time, Carlos Rodriguez scores his first goal, and that sends Sacramento Republic FC to a victory, denies RGVFC 3 desperately, or even 1 needed point, as their playoff hopes took a major hit in this match.
Yeah, sadly, Jonah, it's the story of the season. A 1-0 lead at home in the 70th minute. Last year, that would have been a win. At worst, a tie. This year, it's a loss. Give Sacramento credit. They played well throughout most of the night. They went for it. They got the tying goal just 2 minutes after the opening goal. They got the winning goal off a substitute center back.
Well, Sacramento Republic FC, they were 7 points out of top 4 spot entering today's action. Well, now they're 4. And they will try and continue that as they get home for a 4-match homestand. September 16th is their next match at home. LA Galaxy 2. That's a 7:30 p.m. start time for them. Rio Grande Valley FC, on the other hand, they're back in action on Saturday. Play host to Reno, 1868 FC. That's 7:30 p.m. right here at HEB Park. You can catch that game right here where you catch all RGV FC and matches. But that'll do it for us from HEB Park. I'd like to thank everybody out there for tuning in. So for our entire production crew and Matt Peterson, this is Jonah Goldberg saying goodnight from HEB Park, where Sacramento Republic FC wins 2-1.